headed off. It's Thursday night. We were supposed to leave tomorrow. We had a pretty decent window starting offshore tomorrow, so we decided to sail out of here. Plus, we don't like leaving on a Friday. So we left Thursday night. We're sailing into the dark, so it's blowing 15 to 18, and we are close hauled, heading up the Straits of Juan de Fuca towards Cape Flattery, where we'll continue offshore and head for Catalina. So this is Port Angeles. That's where we were. Sorry if I'm moving around. I'm actually underway right now. And right now we are about right here. And this is our weather map. Wind's blowing 4 knots, kind of behind us a little bit. This evening we're going to be out here. So this is what we have Saturday. That's tomorrow. So once we get offshore, we're gonna, the green is 10 to 15 knots of wind, and then the kind of brown is 20. Dark brown is getting close to 30. And we are gonna go about 100 miles offshore. So yeah, it's gonna be a while before we actually get into the really good winds, but we really don't wanna be in the nasty stuff. But if you look down there around Eureka, you'll see that it really gets nasty off of Cape Mendocino. And we won't be down there for a week. So it's gonna take us 6 to 7 days to get down off of Eureka anyway. So, which is the full length of this forecast. So this is what we've got coming. And basically we've got really good winds. Once we get out there and get in it, we should have 10 to 15 all the way down. And then if you look, getting close to the end of the week, it starts to die down off of Cape Mendocino as well. And then you can see we're actually going down there to the Channel Islands, so, which is down here. It's right here. So the next week we'll be rounding Cape Mendocino right here and sailing on to the Channel Islands. And we don't have that weather forecast for that week yet. So at this point, we are planning on staying out for the entire trip. But that can change based on what happens on this forecast for the next week. We may have to go in at Eureka, which I would be willing to do. I spent some time there with Mig, so I know the entrance, and if we have good weather, I'll go in there. Otherwise, I'm not. I'd rather be offshore in bad weather than trying to enter a bar, you know. And if you look, man, it gets up to 40 knots there off of Mendocino, and that is on next Tuesday. But we're not going to be there next Tuesday. We're way up above, just in that green, right above that, hopefully. Staying out of the blue, because we want to sail. We don't want to motor like we are right now. Right now we have no wind, and we're just motoring to get offshore. Hi guys, welcome back to Sailing Vessel Mig. I'm sitting here in Bodega Bay as I edit this right now and look back over the footage. This is where we went around Cape Flattery, and it was nice and calm. We actually saw a couple of whales there. Norman was trying to get some pictures of the humpbacks that he saw. It was the first time he'd seen them in a while, and so he was really excited about that. As you can see, it was very calm, and from the weather report that you saw before, we were hoping to come around and go offshore and get into the lighter 15 to 20 knot winds, but of course, as the weather often shows, it doesn't do what you plan for it to do or what they say it's going to do. And very soon we had a triple reef in our main and then our storm jib up, and we began to make tracks south a little faster than we had anticipated, and in the end we had to heave to and wait for weather. And then next week's video is where we try to catch the tail end of that around the capes, and we do not succeed. We end up in that 40 knot wind and the nasty stuff. So this video is us getting to the point where we heave to, and then next week we'll show you the videos of us going around the Capes. So I also want to really thank all my patrons. We've got some new patrons, and I'd really like to thank you guys for your support and your help. It really helps out the family, and it helps me out as I try to sail this little boat around the world. Thanks a lot.
So I'm looking back to how we got things started when I gave you my heart. Yeah. Oh, I still know the way. Oh, this train is running late. I seem a little far away, but I'll get there someday. Wait on me, wait on me, wait on me. Wait on me, wait on me, wait on me. I need to reach out and stop our world from spinning. Find a new beginning for us. Even when I'm in doubt, I've gotta trust my instincts. I know you're standing with me. I still know the way. Oh, this train is running late, but seem a little far away. But I'll get there someday. Wait on me, wait on me, wait on me. Wait on me, wait on me, wait on me. Wait on me, wait on me, wait on me.
I'm on the, I have the 6 a.m. to 12 noon watch, and Topher will come on, and he has the 12 to 1800 watch. Then I had to go back on from 1800 to 21, and then he goes 21 to midnight, and I go midnight to 03. And then he comes back on 03 to 6, and then we do it all over again. So we got 2 long watches in the daytime. I do the morning, he does the afternoon, and then we split it up in the afternoon. So anyway, I had a little cruise ship come by. Well, I don't know if it was a cruise ship or what it was. Maybe a ferry of some sort, I don't know. Anyway, he come by a while ago. He was about 2 miles ahead of me and went by. There's some fishing boats out here closer to shore, maybe, I don't know. I think we're about 30 miles offshore right now, I think, something like that. Anyway, so that's a big one. Anyway, that's what we got going on today. And we'll check in later. Adios. Topher's up there now. We lowered the jib. Now we were hooking on the storm jib. That's what he's doing right now. Because we got a pretty good blow coming next day or two. So I'll let him tell you all about that, but I'm just going to record him fastening everything up and getting it all up and ready to go to the other side. What are we getting ready for, Topher?
We're getting ready to go slow so that we can not get caught in 40-knot winds off of the Capes. And we can time, if we can time this right, then we can let the storm that's going to be in the Capes on Wednesday pass, and then we can get right behind it and go around both Cape Blanco and Cape Mendocino and hopefully avoid 40-knot winds.
Well, we're ready just in case.
Yeah, well, the storm jib helps us in 2 ways. One, if we get caught in 30 and 40 knot winds, we drop the main completely. It's triple reefed right now, but we'll drop it completely and run downwind with just the storm jib. And it does pretty good with that. We already tested that the other day. And it also slows us down, because right now what we don't want is we don't want to get too close to that and get caught in that wind, and then we have to ride it, and we don't want to do that. And we don't want to really heave to. So we'll heave to out here if we have to. If we find we're making too much headway, we'll go ahead and heave to out here and wait and then go. But I think this will work. So we're gonna raise the storm jib. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, snug it. All right. I think our sheet is good.
You think that's all right as is? Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to look at speed and see what we're doing.
Put a little safe protection on there. That does a good job, man.
Slides around. Might have to put one on this side. All right. Let's see what our speed is, if we need to tack or not. I don't want to tack because Starlink would go out. Boy, you do not get the idea of how big the stuff is here. We actually have our storm jib flying, triple reefed main. We just took a great big wave over the boat, filled the cockpit, filled Norm's aft cabin, went down into the main cabin because we did not have the boards in. So from now on, whenever it's triple reefed main time, the boards go in the cabins. But yeah, you can't really tell how big this stuff is. It's pretty big. It's blowing in the 20s, and we just got a weather report that it's supposed to blow up to 40 knot gusts out here later on. So we're preemptively reefed a little higher than we should be for the conditions the way they are right now. They're blowing 20 to 25, but we didn't want to go up on the foredeck and wrestle down the working jib and put up the storm jib and that kind of stuff. So we preemptively put it up, and got our triple reefed main up. We're still averaging 3.5 to 4 knots, which for this little boat is pretty good. It's keeping us on course. Seas are coming from the corner. As you can see, really can't see how much that mast is rolling. Let's see if I can get the horizon and hold the horizon steady, so you can see how much. I don't have a gimbal GoPro. Everything in here is wet, just soaked. And all our cushions, they had just dried too. We just got them dried, and now they're all wet. I think they're just going to be in a perpetual stage of wetness. I hope I have a crew person after this. Norm was not very happy. He was out in the cockpit when the wave piled over him. And then earlier today I had to go up and do the sail because the boat was rounding up. We had a double reef main and a full working jib, not a Genoa, but as soon as the wind piped up, it heeled us over and started going to windward, and that's always a little scary at first. So, you know, it's hard to just realize that you can just go ahead and round up into the wind and turn everything off, take care of the sails, and then fall off again. You tend to want to fight it and keep the course when you can just round up. It's all good. So,
well, kids, here we are. Day 2 of our big adventure. We got here. We're about 50 miles offshore, and freaking got some pretty heavy seas outside. It's blowing, I don't know, 20 some miles an hour, but it's pretty rough out there right now. It was nothing like this morning, like I videoed. It's got a lot worse, and we've got waves crashing on the over in the boat and down inside the hatches because we didn't have the hatch boards in and everything. But anyway, they're in now, and we know that from now on we'll put the boards in instead of just having the little covers over the top of them. So, but no, as you can tell, all my shit is over there. I got tired of holding it over here because I had 2 big green duffel bags and the life raft, and everything is up on this side, and it's always wanting to slide down. So I said, hell with it, I just move it over there, and it's over there now. Anyway, that's all I got for now. I'm here till I go and watch, and then I'll probably still stay in here. I'll get dressed, but I'll still stay in here. I'm just in my long johns now. My long johns. But anyway, party on, dudes.
well, I just took another wave over the bow, or over the side, and I just got knocked on my ass. Whoa, big one. Oh man, that one's big. Yeah, we got some big ones rolling in right now. big one. Ride today. Storm jib. Sails all tied off. A lot like those shots of Heaving-To from the bow that day going into Punta Gorda. These are almost identical conditions to the conditions we had that day on Heaving-To. Yeah, these seas, I know the GoPro does not show them, but they're probably 10 to 12 footers with the occasional rolling 16 footer that likes to come into the cockpit. See the flag whipping. Flags usually do that at about 20 knots. It's probably blowing 18, gusting to 25 right now. It's supposed to get up. They just sent out a weather report saying we might have 40 knot winds out here in gusts, which means sustained 30 knots. So that's a lot for this little boat. It's a lot for Norman and myself. She'll do fine though. She's a good boat, she can handle it. There's some good ones. shit just sailing. Just so y'all know, that was not my intention. But I'm sure we'll have a few videos like this occasionally where things just get a little rough. So I like to show it all to you anyway. It's supposed to calm down by tomorrow morning. We're supposed to have some decent winds, I think, tomorrow. Go ahead. Put a downhaul on the mainsail, and I'm gonna put one on the jib as well. That'll help a lot with bringing down the sail quickly. It really helps with the main. My downhaul, it only goes to the third reef, so I can pull down to the third reef really fast. It doesn't go to the head of the sail. I found it caused a bind up there when I did it at the top of the mainsail. So I do it at the third reef, which gives me a very small sail to deal with afterwards, and I can handle that. The difficult part is getting the belly out of the sail without turning all the way up into the wind, which you don't always want to do in these seas. I read a thread about downhauls on mains, and the guy was saying, a bunch of people were saying, oh, you don't need a downhaul, you just turn up into the wind, it'll drop like a stone. Well, this is an old, and there are things like sail code, I know all that stuff, but this is an old sail, or old mast. I didn't put in a new track, which I'd like to, but I just don't have the extra couple $1,000 to do it. So I haven't done it. I might in the future, I probably will. But turning up into the wind is not always the easiest thing to do in big seas like this either. You can still do it. It does still turn off the wind. You can kind of heave to that way to deal with your sails, which is what we did today. But it's really nice to be able to pull that third reef down just instantly. Just go up there without turning the boat or anything, release the halyard, pull the downhaul, and get down to your third reef immediately without any muss or fuss of moving the boat. So I'd like to know what you think of that, those of you that are offshore sailors. Let me know what you think of that whole idea. This seems to be working pretty good for me. It is the first time I've ever had a downhaul on the sails, but then again I had roller furling jib on Wandering Dolphin, and right now I'm thinking that is also such a luxury. But we'll see after we get to New Zealand if I still can handle this hanking on the sails and stuff, or if I'm too big a wimp that I need roller furling. Man. When you're going through this stuff, you think, why did I choose this? Why do I like this? Because at the moment, I'm not really liking this. I'll tell you what I do like. I like that it's not just the normal drudgery of life of getting up and going to work and, you know, everything's the same. You're not affected by the weather. You're not putting yourself out there in a situation where you have to be challenged and push yourself, and you have to use your brain to cope with it all. And I think that's what I like. That's what I like out here. stuff, and I'm making the video for this week right here while I wait. Let's see. It is Monday, October 2nd, and we are just offshore, about 40 miles offshore and north a bit of Coos Bay, Oregon. And we're in a little bit of a pickle here, weather-wise, because we have a situation where we can't get into Coos Bay. We were going to go into Coos Bay, but we can't because the bar into Coos Bay is now restricted, which means we can't go in there. The seas going into the bar are 6 to 10 feet, and what happens is the boat, as it goes through the narrow inlet, if you can't go fast enough, it broaches and the waves roll it. So it's a dangerous situation. A bar with wind, and even though we'd have slack current, we could be there in time for slack current. Well, we couldn't now, but we could have. So offshore, the problem is if we were to head offshore too far, there's another low pressure from the north that's coming down, and it would catch us with it does a turn like it's circular like a hurricane. It's not blowing like a hurricane, but it is blowing 30 to 40, which is a lot, and we would get caught in its south wind quadrant, which would blow us back north, which is the opposite of what we want to do. So we want to go south. However, through Wednesday there is a very bad Cape effect around Cape Blanco and Cape Mendocino in California, and those winds are going to be going the right direction. You know, they're north winds, but they'll be blowing in the 40s because of the Cape effect. What happens is the wind, as it hits the capes, it increases in wind speed as it goes around those capes, and so you get a high Cape effect. And normally I would just go far enough offshore to avoid those, but this Cape effect goes out almost 300 miles, so that wasn't an option. So we were in a little bit of a pickle since we can't get into Coos Bay to wait out this stuff. So what we've done is we've heaved to here about 40 miles offshore of Oregon, and we will wait for the wind to die down in the Cape effect in front of us, and we'll catch the tail end of that and hopefully be able to sail then around the Cape as it dies down. It's supposed to die down on Thursday and Friday. Actually, Thursday looks like it might still be going pretty high, so we may have to wait a little longer, and then hopefully we can get around both Cape Blanco and Cape Mendocino and avoid the worst of it, and also this next low pressure that's coming that would have blown us north, which we don't want. So we've heaved to here, and I'm going to take the camera out and show you what it looks like to heave to. Basically, when you're heaving to, what you do is you back the jib and you basically tack without moving the jib sheet over. And if it's going to be really high wind, then you want to throw off a sea anchor off the bow. But we shouldn't get more than 20-25 knots of wind while we wait here, hopefully. So we don't want to deploy the sea anchor unless we have to, because it's really, really hard to get back in. It's not to be taken lightly when you use it. So we will do it if we have to, if it looks like the wind's going to increase too much here. then we'll throw the sea anchor off. And the nice thing about the sea anchor is when you're heave-to, you're not necessarily bow into the wind, but with the sea anchor, it pulls your bow up into the wind, like when you're anchored out ashore. And then you're taking the waves from an angle. You actually angle the sea anchor using a midship cleat and the bow cleat, and you can get it off at an angle there, and it rides really nicely. When you're just heave-to, you're kind of riding a little bit beam to the seas, so that's not the nicest, but it is very nice compared to actually sailing in this stuff. So the motion of the boat is much nicer. Still can get rough, as you can see. So we're moving around pretty good right now. All right, I'm going to take this out and show you. I got to get my foul weather gear on so I can go out there and give you a little tour of what the boat looks like with the boat heave-to. I'll leave 2 boards in while I take you on a little walk about here. So as you can see, we've already got, I bet it's blowing 20 already here. Norman is in his little Norman hole. And yes, I've offered him to come forward, but I'll probably have to voice over this because of the wind. Like heave-to, we have a triple reef main. The jib is back. This fun. Here's Norman.
Hi guys. I got everything I own piled in here.
There you go.
It's a mess.
You can talk to it a little bit here. I'll stay right here till you're done.
Light on. Anyway, yeah, I come in, I got all my stuff piled in here, and that's all over there. Stuff gets wet. I had to pile it over here, and we take a certain tack, and then I got to move it all over one side, and then I do the other tack, and I got to move it all back. But my bed is right here. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting next 2 or 3 days. So we'll just hang on, and then when the weather is good enough, we'll take off and head south. Hopefully get to Southern California. Here you go, bro.
All right, you doing good? All right, I'll probably make us something to eat, and I'll just pass it back to you. All right, there you go, folks. It doesn't look so exciting, but it's better than sitting at home in an armchair watching Netflix. That's what we've decided. Huh? Are you not feeling that way now? You'd rather be home watching Netflix? Sheesh. Yeah, it's blowing a little more than what they were saying it was gonna, I think. I could get out your wind gauge and we could look, but it doesn't change anything, so we're here for a while. These seas, though, we may end up wanting to What'd you say? Well, you have to have the sea anchor to get that slit. We're just heave-to. See, if you have the sea anchor out, it would be holding us bow into the wind. Right now, we're not bow into the wind, so we don't have that slit. I mean, we could put that sea anchor out if you want to go through all that. Then it's a bitch to pull in. I'd rather not if we don't have to, but we'll see what Richard says. All right, I'm getting wet.
All right, buddy.
There we go.
Together